Use it or lose it. You probably heard that far too many times, but it's especially true when it comes to memory. But not just memory itself, but the knowledge you're learning. If you don't use your knowledge, you're going to forget it. So let me show you what I mean. So let's say you learned Paradise Lost. So it's a very, long text. It's a poem. Very, very long. Now let's say you had all your images and every day you go through one of the different books and you review your image, okay? And so you do that. And maybe 1 month, 2 months, half a year goes by and you can see all your images clearly. But what if you never actually recalled the text itself? So you have your images, but you never actually went through your images and actually tried to recall all the text from Paradise Lost. Now what happens is, yes, you have your images, but you're not going to be able to recall all the text because you never practice making the connection between the image to the actual piece of information. You left that connection out. And so even though you have your images, you don't have the actual information itself. Now that's what I mean by use it or lose it, because so many people, are so focused on learning information or having these perfect images and things like that. But if you never actually use information, and it doesn't matter if you have it in your head, if you actually never test yourself on it or use it in an actual useful context, right? If it's like school or something like that, if you never actually use it, then you just wasted all that time learning it. It doesn't matter if you have all these journeys. No, for this, no, you have a lot of journeys. It doesn't matter if you have all these journeys to it and you have your images perfect, because eventually you're going to have your images, but you don't know what they represent anymore. Okay? So let me show you what I mean from a example from working out. So here I have some ab moves. Now, when I first learned these moves, I wrote them down and I knew how to do them all at that moment. But now, when I look back at them, I see some of these things. I'm like, what do these moves even look like? What do some of the moves look like? I have no idea. So even if I were able, even if I wanted to, I should say, to memorize the names of the workout, boom, have them in my memory, but I never actually did them. Then say, a month later, I'm like, hey, let me try those ab moves I learned. I know the name, but I don't know how the movement looks like. That's because I never actually used it. And this was probably a week or so ago I wrote down. I have no idea for some of these moves what they are or how to do them. So I have to really look them up. And that's what I'm talking about. You really do have to actually use the information. Who cares if you have your images? Who cares if I can recall the name of that exercise perfectly? It doesn't mean I could do it, right? Eventually, when I start doing it a lot more, yes, the connection between the movement and the name itself, man, it's going to be really strong. But up until that point, I need to review it, then actually do the movement in order to remember, okay? And so it's going to be the same thing if you're learning Paradise Lost, vocabulary, foreign languages, whatever it may be. You have to actually use the information. Don't just rely on having your images the whole time, because if a month goes by without you actually recalling the information, you're probably going to lose it. You probably have to go back and relearn everything like, oh wait, yeah, that image represented can perish. Okay, that's good. Moving on. And so, man, I'm just telling you this because this is what got to me. I looked at this today. I'm like, man, I don't know what some of these moves are. And it got me really frustrated because, like, if I wanted to do some of those moves, I couldn't do that, right? I have to go back, use more time, and rewatch them. And especially, if you're learning some very complicated things like medical information, things like that, you really have to make sure you're on top of it, that you're using it in some way. If that's just testing yourself or that's, having some sort of practice test you could be doing or talking to some doctor about it. Just find a way to actually use the information. Even though I don't use a periodic table of elements for any useful purpose, I still go through and review it time to time. I'm like, okay, I see my images. Oh yeah, okay. I see my hydrogen bomb, hydrogen, helium balloons, helium, lithium. And so I go through and I still see them all, okay? And I recall the actual information, not just my image, okay? And that's probably the most important thing you should get from this video. It's not just good enough to recall your image. You need to be able to recall that actual piece of information that image represents. Because at the end of the day, that's what those images are there for, right? To help you remember them. But if you never actually practice or review, going from your images to your information, you're going to lose that information. So hopefully you found this video useful. Maybe a memory challenge would be learning Paradise Lost. And just look at that, guys. All that text. How much fun would that be? But maybe a book or so would be pretty cool. I'll probably try to find the smallest book just to kind of test it out. But yeah, so hopefully you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time. Subscribe to my channel for more videos on memory techniques, how to do better in school, memory challenges, updates, and much more. Also remember to click the notification bell so you know when I upload a video. You can follow me on Facebook and Twitter. The links are down below in the description. You also can check out these videos. If you want to learn all the memory techniques and learn how to apply them to all sorts of information, or if you want to start competing in memory competitions, you can check out my programs down below in the description. Look forward to my next video and get ready to get the best memory of your life.